and welcome to my channel. My name is Cleopatra for those tuning in for the first time, and I appreciate you just popping in and hanging around with me. And for those coming back, I really appreciate you. We don't take you for granted. Please do remember to press that like button, interact and share with other family and friends. So without further ado, let's get down to today's topic, which is struggles with fertility. So I am just going to talk about infertility struggles and my experience as an individual, what I've gone through. And please do share, comment and say, if you know anything about it. So first and foremost, I'd like to just say, for the general public out there, please be kind to people. Please be kind to your friends and family members. If you meet them or they are married or whatever their situation is, please do be conscious about asking or for when are you having a pregnant, or commenting, your belly looks big, are you pregnant? Or I am just particularly starting it this way because believe me, or someone out there might say, what is she talking about? Who does that nowadays? But I was at a communion 2 weeks ago, and I met a lovely young couple that apparently got married 1 year ago, and it was after their marriage. Well, then they attended this communion with me, and we were at her house just waiting around to go over for a dinner. And someone commented, oh, when is your baby coming? Because that lovely young lady was playing with my little daughter, and this girl comments, oh, when is your baby coming? And I thought, oh my God, is anyone really doing this in 2023? Why do people do that? That lady could have been coming from an emergency department 2 days before that with a terrible miscarriage. That lady could have come out of a doctor's office, 2 days, before this, just being told that there's something wrong with your ovaries, or there's something wrong with your fibroids, or or that lady could have come out with a partner being told, your sperm count is low, or whatever it is. I'm appealing to the public out there to just be conscious about these comments, with regards to people having children or with regards to people pregnancies. So down to my own story. So I got married, and I did not have my first child till 5 years into marriage, and didn't bother my husband. I was hoping for a child, but it wasn't something that was the end of the world for me. So I do remember immediately after I got, the bride price was paid for me, and one day I was at a bus stop just standing there waiting for the bus, and I could feel this terrible cramps crippling me. It was sharp pains, on my abdomen, on my back. I was bending over, I was sitting down at the bus stop. It was in the night time. The bus came, I went on the bus. I remember ringing my husband and just telling my husband about these pains, and and got on the bus anyway, got home, and this cramps just continued. And of course I miscarried, or something came out, and I then went to a hospital that night, because this was the first experience. And take note, at that time I'm 21 years old. That's when I actually got married. And I'm going there, I'm explaining to the doctors, this is what happened, and this is, this was the result. And they said, this is a spontaneous abortion, and they just did a scan to see was there anything left inside, and they said, no, you're clear, you can go home. And this happened again, say about a year later, same experience. Went down to the hospital, confirmed spontaneous abortion. And every year nearly this happened. The third year again, had the same experience. So in between, life is going on. There is no contraceptive, there is no conception. But whenever it happens, then the result is the and remember as well, I am not free of these comments. I'm not free of this, these questions. I'm not free of, you know, either people joking about it or ridiculing you about it. But anyhow, thank God I have a very, very supportive, understanding husband. He said, look, when the time is right, God will answer. And remember, I'm a Christian, so my faith is there. I am praying, I am fasting, and I am congregating in this church that really believes in spiritual gifts, and I'm praying with these people that are gifted or prophets, and you know. But anyway, so eventually I successfully carry a child to term, and this is 5 years into marriage, and of course it's amazing. It is a beautiful time. It is celebrated, and I am so grateful. And after that, of course, we don't want a child immediately, so I go on my contraceptive and life goes on. And then when the time is right, I decide, okay, we're going to try for another baby. So we stop the contraceptive, and boom, none, you know, behold, this cycle starts again. You know, we go through the whole thing. So from when we decided, okay, we're gonna try for another baby, so we try, say, for about 12 months, and then eventually, you know, you miss a period and you celebrate and you take a second test, a third test, and it's fine. Say 3-4 weeks after that, boom, those pains come again. You're crippled with those cramps, and you go to the hospital. You know, at some stage, I had an ectopic pregnancy. They said they did a scan, and oh, unfortunately, the baby is in the tubes, it's in the wrong spot, and this is dangerous. And then you're given tablets to take, like these are abortion tablets, and you're thinking, God, you know, what if, and what, how, and why me, and how, and you know, it happens again year after year. And I speak to the consultant. I said, look, I went through this before. Can we investigate this? What happens? This was at the third spontaneous abortion or miscarriage, and I speak to a doctor. I say, can this be investigated? They say, well, you have to have had 4 miscarriages, four consecutive miscarriage in order for this to be investigated. So because after your 3rd miscarriage you had a baby to term, you had a live birth, that just the prior miscarriages don't count. So it will have to be 4 after this. And that stage it was 3. And I begged and begged and begged, and I thank God I had this lovely consultant that looked after me. I said, look, I know you're saying that, but this is now 6, you know, miscarriages. I really need this investigated, and I would really love another baby. You know, okay, if it doesn't happen, but I'd love to know what is the cause and what is the reason. So we go ahead, and they organize a test, and myself and my husband, we are tested, and the, you know, bloods are sent to the lab. The results come back, and the results come back with this so they say the male chromosomes, so when the sperm fertilizes the egg, there is a balanced reciprocal translocation in the genes, you know, the genetic line out in the chromosomes. So there's a missed chromosome, say chromosome 11 and 15, they are skipped, or 11 chromosome 21 and 23 get mixed up or skipped. So then when my egg is fertilized, it just detects that abnormality, and it spontaneously aborts the fetus. So that's exactly what will be happening on those years. And then our consultant that had been so good to do the investigations sends us to a specific genetic counseling place. And there they say to us, look, if you really want to have another child, we advise IVF, or so that, you know, they will obviously select a sperm with the normal chromosomes, and that will be used to fertilize the egg. That is really the highest chance to have a live birth, if we want to go that route. And so we sit down with my husband. My husband is really keen. He says, let's do it, that would be the right thing, and I agree. And then I just think down the line, me, and I thought, what, if God, now I'm not saying anyone, this is absolutely my opinion. I don't advise anyone, or I'm not putting this for anyone to take it as their own decision. I, for one, I am for, I believe IVF is a great invention. I believe things like surrogacy are a great invention. I really believe if you really want a baby, whatever way you want it, I support it. If the decision that you need is to have a child and you're in a position to look after them, I say try whatever it takes to have them. I'm pro that. But at that stage, I was anti-IVF. Then, well, initially I said yes, and then I was thinking, or the injections, or the hormones, or the frustration. And as we all know, IVF can be successful, or may not be successful. It's not 100% guarantee, And I was thinking, do I really need to go through that? And I said, no. I said, let's try it naturally one more time. If God gave us this child naturally once, then he can do it again. And we tried, and of course, horribly so, it ended up in another spontaneous miscarriage. And I said to my husband, no, I'm not doing this again. And he said, I know, I also don't want you going through that. He said, let's do IVF. And I said, okay, but I was apprehensive. I was thinking, self-injecting myself with these hormones. I thought, no. I thought, what, let's pray about it. Let's fast about it. We prayed about it, and I thought very, very, very hard about it. And we spoke to a very close relative that has walked most of this journey with us. And I said, what? I'm going to give it one last shot. And one last shot it is. And I said, okay, we will try again naturally. And we went on this journey, and some months later, the pregnancy is there. I miss my period, and I take so many tests, not 2, not 3, I don't know how many, and they all say positive. And I'm testing every 3-4 days, and I'm going, oh my God. And I'm cringing at every slightest back pain I have, every slightest abdominal pain I have. I'm like, God, is this going to go? I remember at 8 weeks, I said to my husband, I need to get a scan. I need to confirm this pregnancy. I need to know, is everything okay? And I went to a private scan, and I didn't even go to my doctor. Went to this private center. We got the scan done, and it says, yes, you're pregnant, and you are, I think, 7 weeks and some days. And I was just so grateful and so relieved. And I remember at 11 weeks, 3 weeks after that, I said, I need another scan. I need to know things are okay. I need to know baby is still in there. And I went for another private scan, and baby was good, and baby was growing, and heartbeat was there, and the relief. And remember, now this is 12 years later after the previous live birth. This is now 12 years later. And I am so apprehensive. I'm older, and I'm thinking, are things going to go well? And I'm a lot older. I am old, guys. So count down, 9 months later, we had a beautiful, healthy baby delivered, and so grateful to God. And this was the most beautiful experience, another 12 years later. And then I just think, of course, then after you've had the baby, there's very same people that kept asking, oh, are you only going to have one child for the husband? Are you going to only have one child for our family? Are you only now they go, oh my God, you have a child at this age. Oh my God, you have a child at this age. And I'm thinking, girl, you can never please everyone. Anyway, that's not the story for today. The story for today is giving hope to those trying out there, especially if you are Christian, or if you're whatever faith you are, I'm not anti other denominations, faiths, or whatever. whatever you are, whatever you believe in, you know, keep faith, and one day things will happen. And be open-minded. Be open-minded, like we've talked about, you know, different forms of, aiding you to have children. If it's IVF, if it's, artificial insemination. I can't remember now the professional word for it. If it is surrogacy, if it is sperm donation, if it is egg donation, if it anything. And especially for my minority groups, Africans and other people, they do, things like embryo, what do you call it, like saving your embryos, your egg, keeping it there, because we don't think of these things. You think, oh, I'll get married at 28, I'll have children and it will come natural and things will happen. Not necessarily. I'd say to people nowadays, do look at storing your eggs, because if you meet someone maybe at 39 or at 40 and you still want to have children, you can go back to those stored eggs and use them, because they'll be young and fresh. And and if you do have challenges like I have, don't lose hope and consult the right people. Speak to your doctor, speak to your GP, speak to the consultant, seek help up there, and eventually, please God, you will reach, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I have a positive story, and I pray that everyone watching and everyone concerned and anyone that has a similar story may have a happy ending like the blessed one that I had. So guys, I actually also want to reiterate at people, just refrain from asking couples about their personal journeys about having children. Unless someone approaches you, allow them to be the first person to talk about it, and then you can offer help, and then you can offer constructive feedback. You can help refer them to the right people, to the right places. I have had friends of mine that have had really successful stories of IVF, really successful stories with surrogacy, really successful stories, with stored eggs. So I'm hoping that this installment for today will inspire someone, will give someone hope. To be specific, I was 40 really when I had my baby, so it is never too late. And I know I have a friend who is 43 and naturally pregnant, so it is never too late. Don't let people's comments put you down. Don't let people's questions give negative thoughts about whether or not things will happen, or whether or not you'll conceive. And God's time is not your time. So when you pray, say, God, I know you have put a time for when things will happen for me. Can you please see me live to witness that time and to be a testimony of your power? This really, I can call it my testimony, because 12 years down the line, with maybe 7 in total of miscarriages or spontaneous abortions. And so I've had 9 pregnancies with 2 live births. I'm not crying out for sorrow. I'm not looking for people, but my story is bright with a very beautiful ending. So I'm just hoping to shine a light upon someone's darkness. If you're in the dark right now about whether or not things will happen, whether or not you will get a baby, whether or not you'll be blessed, I am just sharing my story today to tell you, just keep hope, keep faith, and don't be afraid to seek help, and don't be afraid to try other methods, medical methods that may help you, that may aid you, get your result and have a beautiful time with the beautiful result. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Please don't forget to press the like button. Hopefully you like the content, and do subscribe and share with friends and family, and do comment down below so we can be interactive. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and of each other.